The BJP has, of course, lambasted the Aam Aadmi Party and told it to own up to its actions. The BJP said that AAP doesn't have the courage to take ownership of its sinister campaign against the Prime Minister and should stop playing the victim card after violating the law. The BJP has also alleged that the Aam Aadmi Party is well aware that it's a hate campaign against the Prime Minister, which would isolate it from the people, and so it chose to hide behind anonymous posters with no ownership. Listen in.
देखिए कि आप करना चाहिए, विरोध करे, कौन मना करता है, लेकिन हिम्मत तो रखो विरोध करने की। नाम लिखो अपना कि केजरीवाल जी ने कहा है मोदी हटाओ, लिखो ना नीचे। और सरकारी प्रॉपर्टी पे आप लगाएंगे तो पहले भी केस बनते रहे।
अभी इन 9 सालों में मोदी हटाओ हटाओ का नारा करते करते मोदी जी को कोसते कोसते ये कोसी नदी पहुंच चुके हैं, कोसी नदी के किनारे पहुंच गए हैं। उसके बाद कहाँ जाएंगे समझ में आ जाएगा। एक चीज समझना चाहिए कि ये कहते हैं मोदी हटाओ, जनता कहती है मोदी लाओ। और इसलिए किस लिए हटाओ मोदी इसलिए हटाओ इनकी नजर में कि इन्होंने मोदी जी ने आने के बाद करप्शन, क्राइम, कम्युनलिज्म से मुक्त देश को किया है।
एक तो चोरी, ऊपर से सीना चोरी, कुछ यही आलम आम आदमी पार्टी का है। आप एक पोस्टर लगवाते हो बिना नाम के, और जब एफआईआर होती है तो आप चिल्लाना शुरू कर देते हो कि देश के अंदर लोकतंत्र नहीं है। कानून अपना काम कर रहा है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, और कानून के तहत पोस्टर जब आप लगाते हो आपको लगाने का अधिकार है, लेकिन उस पोस्टर के अंदर किसने लगवाया उसका नाम होना चाहिए।
And that brings me to the legitimate question on the Newshour tonight. Is the Aam Aadmi Party hiding behind posters to attack the Prime Minister? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate tonight, Smita Prakash, editor ANI, Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, Vivek Silas, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Ravula Sridhar Reddy, leader of the BRS, Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress. But my first question goes to Mr. J.V. Shergill, national spokesperson of the BJP. Mr. J.V. Shergill, these days it's almost fashionable to say democracy dies 1,000 deaths, possibly in a death, maybe more, because हर चीज पे तो democracy death हो जाता है, हर चीज पे dictatorship हो जाता है. But over 100 FIRs, do you think it's an overreaction to posters that say Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao?
Navika ji, good evening. I want to begin with narrating a Hindi poetry which befits this situation, but I've modified a little bit, which applies squarely to Aam Aadmi Party. हम अपने गुनाहों को कुछ ऐसे धो देते हैं, हम अपने गुनाहों को कुछ ऐसे धो देते हैं, जब रंगे हाथ पकड़े जाते हैं तो तानाशाही और लोकतंत्र का रोना रो देते हैं. आम आदमी पार्टी has got addicted to the habit of crying wolf whenever caught red-handed indulging in corruption or breaking the law. As a lawyer, let me tell you 2 facts. Delhi police itself has clarified out of 136 FIRs are related to the posters where that phrase Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao. Number 2, the FIRs have been registered for the violation of Press Registration Act Section 3, no disclosure of name, and the Defacement of Property Act, and not for the content against the Honorable Prime Minister. The truth of the matter is, by raising this bogey of dictatorship or democracy is dying, Aam Aadmi Party wants an open license to indulge in corruption, break the law, and run a free writ. The truth of the matter is the rule book for Aam Aadmi Party has become Kala Akshar Bhains Barabar. Now let me tell you about the dictatorship and hypocrisy. Aam Aadmi Party's this cheap stunts reek and stink of cowardice and double standards because they have no local standard to speak on dictatorship. Where was democracy when 60 Punjab police people came to arrest a Delhi spokesperson, BJP spokesperson? Where was democracy when Aam Aadmi Party has stopped the government advertisement from public money to newspapers in Punjab? Where was democracy when journalists in Punjab are not being allowed to enter the Vidhan Sabha because they expose the Aam Aadmi Party? Where was democracy then? Number 3, we all heard the slogan of Modi Marja. when Mr. Sisodia was in CBI, and today Modi Hatao, Prime Minister Modi is unfazed, unrattled and unimpacted by the abuses. Rather, it is a reaffirmation of the fact that the opposition, especially AAP, is politically frustrated. आम आदमी पार्टी जिनकी बातों में दम नहीं होता वो कीचड़ उछालते हैं, ये थूक के भागने की राजनीति में विश्वास करते हैं, तोल के बोलने वाली राजनीति में विश्वास नहीं करते. The press conference today was an afterthought to because they were caught red-handed. They want to now own the posters. Post facto, the violation under the Press Act. As far as the charge, Modi ji डर गए. डरा दिल्ली का बच्चा है. The children of Delhi are scared, who are fearing that they will be addicted to alcohol because of the scam done by Aam Aadmi Party. डरा गुजरात का वोटर था. The voter of Gujarat was scared of AAP, जिसने 128 सीटों पे जमानत जब्त करा दी. And my last point before the other guest point. Look at the irony. Today, a man named Manish Sisodia. Look at the level of politics in this nation now. Indulge in corruption is being equated by Aam Aadmi Party to Lord Ram. And the elected Prime Minister of one of the world's biggest democracy is being called Modi ko hatao, Desh Bachao, and that too in a darpok manner. And before that, Modi marja. Mr. Kejriwal, if he has the courage and the guts, let him defeat electorally rather than indulging in these cheap tricks which are digging his own political grave.
Well, so let me ask Mr. Ravi Srivastava. Ravi Srivastava ji, ek baat to hai, there is full right to protest. But if you want to protest, take ownership. After all, everybody in this country has the right to say what they have to say, and they say so on social media. But there is a name, and who's saying what is owned by the person who says it. Now, if you want to put a poster like this and you think usko poster lagane se Modi ji hat jayenge, you're most welcome to do that. But why not put the name of the Aam Aadmi Party at the bottom? That's the question people are asking. कि भाई नाम लिखो, ownership लो और फिर जो मर्जी करो.
You never asked this question when the posters for opposing Kejriwal were pasted in Delhi. You never raised this issue. All those were signed ones. All those had the mobile number of the presenter. All had the addresses of the printing press. You never asked those questions because your laws are discriminatory. You have the power in your hands and you want to punish someone. Do it. It's a very simple thing. I don't take any objection to this because this is a very small fault for that matter. There will be a small fine and everybody will be postponed. As far as ownership is concerned, ownership will be visible at Jantar Mantar tomorrow when Arvind Kejriwal will own it. And there is nothing wrong in the content, you have yourself said it. Only problem is that it's defacement of a government property. Therefore, that a small fine is there, I'll pay finish up the whole thing. Why I'm asking is, why not to allow people to speak? That shows that you are scared. Why not allow the Rahul Gandhi to speak in the parliament? Why? Because you are scared. The moment he utters the word Adani, the entire BJP's blood pressure goes up. The moment he utters the word Adani, ऐसा लगता है the बैल को लाल कपड़ा दिखा दिया. Because they don't want to talk about that. And that is what they are scared of. Tomorrow everybody will know it. There is no insult. There is no humiliation. There is nothing objectionable. Content is absolutely fine. And you will find such posters across the country from tomorrow onwards. Because it is the people's voice. The 140 crore people want to say it. Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong in it. And it is, if you want to retain democracy, you have to live with it. Otherwise, what you are doing is democracy is in peril. Everybody is taken.
Democracy is in peril again.
Everybody.
Every hour, thrice an hour, democracy is in peril is the line that comes from the opposition. Smita Prakash, has it become a joke?
My own.
Every morning, I think twice every morning and thrice every evening, democracy is in peril.
Yeah. Okay, Navika, jokes apart, as we get closer to 2024, these kind of statements and these kind of, sometimes it sounds bizarre, because it's been repeated so many times कि थक ही जाता है इंसान, कितना सुन लेगा. So I think it going on saying democracy is dead, democracy in peril, all the institutions have been killed. You keep on repeating it, after a while it has no impact. And as we get closer to 2024, I think these kind of poster wars that we saw today in Delhi, these are going to get more venomous. In this particular case, I would just think that I don't think it's lost on anyone that, the city is all decked up because of the G20 events, and dignitaries are coming, and the MEA and the central government has put up this fantastic show. Even the Delhi government has pulled out all stops in making this city look very pretty. And at the same time, when you have these posters which come up saying Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao, and when you have the dignitaries going, they're going to there'll be some kind of a dissonance. I'm not justifying any action on this, but I'm just saying that this is probably the reason why it happened. On the larger political question, I don't know, Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao just works in BJP's advantage. In fact, in the last Delhi election, Mr. Kejriwal himself refrained from attacking Mr. Modi, and that worked electorally for him. Even in Punjab, he didn't make these kind of personal attacks on the Prime Minister. There was nothing much that he said about Mr. Modi. He did about the BJP, but it was about Punjab, and it worked for him even then. So I don't understand why they've done this. Something smells a little fishy, whether this is linked with what is happening with Mr. Sisodia or with the internal Delhi politics, I don't know. But it's interesting. I mean, I wonder why the police decided that they want to do this. It just gives more room for these FIRs and things like that. It just makes it a little more nastier. That's all I'm saying. And it's going to happen. It's not that it's going to end with this. These poster wars will get more and more, it will spread across the country, not just in Delhi, I feel, Navika.
Well, so let me ask Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, to say that democracy is dead because, these posters come up or they have been removed or there are FIRs, have we actually made a joke out of opposition? Opposition can raise issues, can speak in parliament, but there seems to be nobody in the opposition who's in a hurry to get the parliament to work. On the other hand, as Smita mentions, there is the G20 presidency, and we know that every other day there's a dignitary, international dignitary who's in India. There are many conferences that are going on, and even the Aam Aadmi Party has set aside 21,000 crore in today's budget for the beautification and cleanliness of Delhi, and they've done it in the name of G20, and they want to pull out all the stops. But in the middle of this, these posters have come up in locations where the G20 posters are. What is it that you're trying to convey? Are you trying to say that people want Modi to go? Is that the message you want to give the dignitaries? Because if it is a political opposition, put your name and that's how a nice democracy functions, with lots of noise. But why do it without a name, and why then use it, to break the law and then say, if you remove the posters or file FIRs, then democracy will die?
Navika, first and foremost, I'm a bit confused tonight as to what is the actual issue. Is the content of the poster objectionable and insulting, or is it the methodology that is being used by the Aam Aadmi Party in printing those posters? First, Navika, if you remember, in 1977, Jayaprakash Narayan, he coined the same slogan, Indira Hatao, Desh Bachao. That was the first slogan that was coined by JP Narayan against Indira Gandhi. But of course, there was no hundreds of FIRs lodged at that point. 2013, 2016, Mamata Banerjee herself coined these slogans, and there were thousands of posters of Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao. Even rallies were organized on this. But there was no objection from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, when we come to the G20 summit, these posters are coming out. You know what? One thing, may I ask you, Navika, honestly, Javid is here. He was with us earlier. May I ask him one thing? Can you just definitely say that there is no poster of the Bharatiya Janata Party which does not have the name of the printer or the person printing it? I'm sure you will not, because you just go out tonight and get to see each and every poster of the G20, mother of democracy, that has been put up. You will not find the name of the printer in that, the printer that is published by the government. You will not find even a single name of the printer. Second point, You know, if the government, Bharatiya Janata Party, is so rattled about Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao, I can understand, because they are all into image makeover government, that I can call it. But what happened to the Pay CM poster that we published in Karnataka? Why did the police remove those posters? Those were published by the Congress office. We organized a press conference on that. DK Shiv Kumar even said that Pay CM posters indicating the 40% Karnataka Commission Sarkar. Why was the BJP government using its police to remove those posters? No. Here is the point. You cannot have an alternate viewpoint in India unless and until you subscribe to the viewpoint that the Bharatiya Janata Party subscribes out here. That is the basic point out here. And when we call ourselves the mother of democracy, we should involve ourselves in a constructive dialogue against parties. The level of dialogue that is coming down, that has been brought down in the parliament, particularly where the opposition is being muzzled from speaking on issues of prime importance, that is where we call the democracy is being dead out here in the country.
Well, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, when you refer to, Indra Hatao, Desh Bachao, those posters came up because this is the picture on your screens, the picture of George Fernandez. George Fernandez, socialist leader, being tied in chains. And that is what gave rise to the entire Indra Hatao, Desh Bachao. So, let's not compare that era with this era. This becomes a picture of George Fernandez that many in India haven't forgotten, at least people who've seen through the emergency years. But Jaiveer Shergill, some pertinent points being made by Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Would you want to respond to them? Because even where the Congress party has owned up posters, they've been removed.
First, let me clarify Mr. Chaudhary's confusion, who said he's confused whether the debate is on content or on the law relation to the posters. Fortunately for Indian democracy, but unfortunately for Congress, of which unfortunately Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a member, and of which unfortunately Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a member of Parliament, India fortunately is governed by the rule book, where Section 3 of the Press and Act of 1867 says any poster or any paper within India without name, if you put it or post it, Section 19 has a penalty which has imprisonment and fine. So fortunately or unfortunately, this is the law of the country which is being applied. Number two, let me burst the Congress's hypocrisy on posters itself. 24th April 2022, posters were put outside AICC, All India Congress Committee office, by some unidentified people. Delhi police removed those posters. Delhi police registered FIR for putting of posters outside the property of AICC, which otherwise was the public property. Was democracy dead then? Loktantra khatre mein tha? Was Delhi police behaving like muscle men of BJP when they registered an FIR in favor of the Congress to protect the Congress rights? Number two, was democracy dead when 18th, I'm now coming on poster and journalists, when democracy was dead when G23 raised certain issues within the Congress? Was democracy dead? Mr. Chaudhary, I believe, is from Bengal, when 3,000 newspaper publications, Darpan, were burnt during pre-emergency era. Was democracy burned when 2009 Times of India reporters, I have the cutting, were threatened with the FIR because they were reporting on China, and the headline read, Congress threatens those reporters which will report on China. Was democracy tab loktantra bahut zinda tha? Lastly, in any democracy all across the world, one gentleman wakes up and Modi teri kabr khudegi, Modi murdabad, Modi teri peeth pe dande marenge. Now comes the question of courage. Chaudhary ji, BJP always attacks from the front. Congress always believe in eager to strike, afraid to get wounded. Congress always does spit and run. First in bravado you will make statements, then you will run pillar to post to make apologies in Supreme Court. Now I don't want to get into name calling Rafael and another recent apology from your colleague. The truth of the matter is the Congress party and the Aam Aadmi Party are trying to get this fictitious ghost that democracy is in danger, I repeat, because they want to indulge their license of corruption in breaking the law. What the real issue is, Navika ji? Opposition has realized they can't corner the Prime Minister on governance, delivery, performance, dedication, delivery of performance. So let's corner the Prime Minister, get together with the international lobby, whether it is Pakistan, George Soros, BBC, and wish him dead or spew venom or give him names. The truth of the matter is BJP gauges the political mood of the nation by the number of abuses opposition rattles, because it shows the Prime Minister is walking correct on the path of development and governance. People were with him. The abuses of the opposition shows their political and electoral frustration. That is the scenario. And now let the Congress respond on my specific charge of 24th April 2022. Was democracy in danger?
Respond,
when
Mr.
Delhi
Chaudhary,
police
before I get in
registered
Mr.
FIR
Reddy
for
from the
putting
BRS.
posters outside Congress office.
Respond, Mr. Chaudhary.
No, Navika, Mr. Shergill was my colleague prior to 2019. Even we uttered those slogans, and I believe Javid ji also uttered the slogan, Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao. And it was, we used to walk behind him. He was our leader, no doubt about it. He left the Congress. That's another issue. Why he did not place? नहीं आपने नहीं किया. मेरे पास वीडियो हम चला देंगे आपको. आप फिर बेकार में आप फिर बेइज्जती हो जाएगी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की. वो छोड़ दो. लेकिन the moot point out here, the debate that is going on right now, this poster war, Navika ji, is it the most important issue that is baffling the nation right now? The parliament is in suspended animation right now. Nobody wants to discuss the Adani-Modani nexus in parliament. Do you think that this poster war, from the Congress point of view, I can tell you confirmed that this poster war is just another diversionary tactics. You know, the apology...
Diversionary tactics, but everybody is tweeting about it and everybody is talking about it. But you don't believe in it. It's the same thing. Mr. Kharge says, Adani issue, we want a JPC or a Supreme Court monitored probe. A Supreme Court monitored probe is announced, but you're still stalling Parliament. So let's leave the issues aside. I think there is a lot of hypocrisy on every side because it is political season. But Mr. Reddy, my question to you is that if the opposition thinks that the government led by Mr. Modi is a failure, is not doing his job, are you going to defeat him by putting out posters, anonymous or with names? Posters are not going to remove Modi. You will have to get your act together, you will have to get your politics together, you will have to convince the people of India that you are a better option than Mr. Modi is. So why is, an issue of these posters coming up? Why is everybody crying foul over the FIRs? And why is everybody running away from the real issues of the nation?
There are there are many real issues which the government is running away. The opposition is trying its best in the parliament to rake up those issues, but Prime Minister Modi never, feels responsible to answer those. And look at this Adani scam which you are referring to now. We have demanded a GPC even in the last session. Now the ruling party itself is calling the parliament, taking other issue of Rahul Gandhi's foreign speeches episode. It is not the opposition stalling the parliament today. Number two, in opposition has different ways to express, in their opposition, the protest on the ruling party. What's wrong in putting posters? Is putting posters is a crime, or is it banned, or the slogan itself is banned? You don't have the right to say Modi Hatao in this desh. आप ये बताना चाहते हैं कि देश में किसी को मोदी हटाओ नारा देने का कोई हक नहीं है. This is intolerance. This shows the state of mind BJP into.
So
they
Mr.
are not
Reddy,
in a position to tolerate.
So Mr. Reddy, when 5 journalists are arrested by the BRS government in Telangana, is that tolerance? 5 journalists in the middle of the night caught by their necks.
You have raised the right point. Navika, you have raised the right point. Let me answer this. If putting a poster, you have booked 100 FIRs, arrested 6 people. And for putting a tweet in Karnataka and somewhere, you have put a journalist in jail for 6 months. In Telangana, BJP-sponsored fake social media handles, BJP-sponsored YouTube channels, in the name of journalism, few individuals, daily they run a hate campaign on our chief minister. They call names, they malign our image. They take every small thing and try to criticize the use abusive language on the chief minister. Till date, the government, as a party, BRS party, we have tolerated much. Today, after they have crossed all the decorum, they have crossed all the lines. When they have abused to the chief minister and the government, the police has taken action and they have booked suitable cases.
Respond.
Now
Ravi Srivastava wants to respond.
We have tolerated so
Mr.
much.
Ravi Srivastava.
You can see if you want. I will send you the videos.
Navika ji,
And these journalists, whomever they call themselves journalists, go personal on chief minister. I want Mr. Jaivir Shargil or their BJP friends to see those videos.
Yes.
They could have not even tolerated for one day. Navika, I want to tell you,
can I
complete
Okay, all right, you made the point. Mr. Jaivir Srivastava wants to rebut you. I'm giving him the turn. Those videos are on the screen. Of course, I don't understand Telugu, so I don't know what is said in those videos. But those videos are on the screen, and
I will send you translated versions of them.
Jaivir Srivastava is responding.
Navika, I will send you the translated versions of the videos.
Thank you very much, but Jaivir Srivastava is responding.
Oh my God.
Video, please play it on a national platform. You will understand.
Navika ji, what a day to have a BRS spokesperson on a show, 22nd March 2023. Please mark this date. As we speak, a journalist called Teenmar Malana is arrested in Telangana for questioning Miss Kavita Reddy on Delhi liquor scam. Today. Number 2, 10th June 2022, 3 BJP leaders who did not hide or omit any name openly did a skit again exposing the corruption of KCR Telangana BRS government were arrested. 3 BJP leaders. 14th January 2022, 40 journalists including YouTubers arrested. Their statement quoting 12 hours we were taken to a location without a warrant and our phones were formatted. Now let's come to the Adani issue. I want to expose their hypocrisy. If the Adani issue is such a matter close to their heart, how come BRS on any opposition party has not filed an intervention application? Because they know they have the real power, they will be exposed. I am a lawyer. Why no police station complaint has been filed? Why no complaint with SEBI has been filed? If ED and CBI are not listening, I am arguing against myself. Why can't they go to a magistrate in section 156(3), which the law provides? My lords, they are not listening, please file the complaint. Because the truth of the matter is, like Pegasus, like Rafale, this entire show in the parliament is just to divert attention, just to stop the news away from the BRS liquor scam, from Mr. Rahul Gandhi's insult to the nation. The fact of the matter is, today the opposition is left issueless, agendaless, leaderless.
Navika,
as 2024 is coming,
Navika,
their frustration will increase.
All right, Mr. Reddy is responding back. Mr. Reddy is responding back.
More name calling.
Navika, let me answer. Navika, let me answer. Mr. Jaivir Shargil is, so much worried about Teenmar Malana. I think few months back he has joined BJP on their national dais, and exactly after 45, 60 days, he quit BJP criticizing them. It's a different case altogether. And this particular, so-called journalist they're talking about, in the name of journalism, daily runs the hate campaign. I will send you the translated versions to Navika or Times Now. If they really dares to telecast them, we will be ready for anything. Let me tell you, Mr. Jaivir Shargil, second thing, you are talking about excise scam and all that. This is the election year, and despite Amit Shah has come, despite Modi ji come, you could not get any ground in Telangana. You could not defeat us on the ground. Hence, you have actually fabricated these cases and trying to implicate us in these cases. And we will come out victorious in this. We will come out clean in this because these are all false cases.
Prakash,
Number three,
there's a lot of shadow boxing that is going on. Aam Aadmi Party says you put Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain in jail. It is all vendetta politics. But courts are not giving bail to both the gentlemen. Satyendra Jain
We
has
also
been
have question, Navika.
Yeah.
We also have question. If you are clean, then if you are clean, Navika, we also have questioned. At one end, you implicate us in false cases. Other end, we also have proven that whoever have joined BJP, kinds of CM Ramesh, MP, kinds of Mr. Sujana Chaudhary, former minister, the ED has tweeted. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao told that they both are Andhra Malyas. They have defrauded the banks to the tune of 6,000 crores.
Fair
The
point,
moment you
there's
have applied
politics
Nirma
all
Sir,
around.
they
I
become
agree
clean
with you.
and ED,
I agree
CBI,
with
IT
you
doesn't
that
go.
there is a
This is
washing
not-
machine, but the
when
fact
they-
of
when
the
we speak,
matter
it is
is,
politics.
fact
When
of
they
the
speak,
matter
it
is,
is-
Smita Prakash, who's
You are
been
not in a
taken for
position
a
to
ride? Who's
respect
been
the
taken for a
democracy.
ride? Because
BJP is forgetting that we are in democracy.
is this
BJP
only
is
about the
forgetting that they are in
BJP
democracy.
versus
BJP is
the
forgetting
Congress
that we are in
versus the
democracy.
AAP
This
versus
is
the
a
BRS,
dictatorship.
or is the public part of this discourse, Smita
Navika,
Prakash? That is the
if
question
posting
I'm
a page-
asking. Mr. Reddy, allow
putting a
others
page is a
also to
crime.
speak. Smita is coming in. She's a journalist. Please don't kill democracy. Don't put democracy in peril. Allow a journalist to speak. Yes, Smita.
Yeah, Navika, I think you're asking who's being taken for a ride. For certain, the people of India are not being taken for a ride. It's quite clear what is happening. Everybody is washing their dirty linen in public, and the people will make the decision. As far as KCR's party speaking about political media, I mean, do they not own TV channel or newspapers? So, those who live in glass houses, I don't think they should throw stones, sir. The other question is about, this constant repetition of democracy is dead, democracy is dead. Elections are being held in all states, including when we were children, do you remember in Nagaland mein or Northeast states mein elections nahi hoti thi for years on end. Every very peaceful elections, over 80% voting in these states were being held. It's something to celebrate, and they are being held, and governments are being changed electorally. People are coming in full form. People are going, the politicians are allowed to go and campaign, meet with their constituents, do what they want. Politicians are holding sway in all television channels every day on a constant basis. 7 baje se debates shuru hote hain, and all opposition politicians are there, and they are being on this channel, on every other channel, on all regional channels, they are speaking. So where is democracy dead? They have access to legislature, they have access to judiciary, they have access to the executive, they have access to media. Where is democracy dead when all these people are giving them platforms? And there is, repeat, no censorship. These people are all going live on television channels. Have they forgotten the time when there was just one channel, which was Doordarshan, and it was state owned, and opposition leaders, and at that time opposition was mainly non-Congress. There was no opposition leadership which had a voice on Doordarshan. Have you forgotten all that time? Now you have a vibrant media, and every day you're on media, and yet democracy is dead.
That's the point, and Vivek Silas, that is what I want to ask you. Every day opposition leaders are on television, whether they want to speak in parliament or not, they do speak on television channels, and they are not censored. आप जो बोलते हैं, जो चाहे बोलते हैं, और सब live जाता है. There's no question of censorship in live television. Nobody is reducing the volume of your mics as you allege in parliament. So where is democracy dead, and why is this bogey raised every now and then, from a poster issue to Adani issue to parliament to everything?
Yes, very good evening to you, Navika ji. As you said right now, it's not the opposition that is hiding behind the posters. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party that is hiding behind the previous governments. I'll give you an example why. I belong to Uttar Pradesh, and the Bharatiya Janata Party has been in power for more than 6 years now. More than 6 years since Yogi Adityanath ji is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. But whenever you ask them a question, they'll go to the Samajwadi Party or they will go to the Bahujan Party. This is because of their deeds that these things cannot happen. They will never say that we are in power for the last 6 years and we are unable to do anything. The same is the case with the central government. If you talk about, if you question them, they'll go to Nehru, they'll go to Indira Gandhi, they'll go to Rajiv Gandhi and other people who have been in power before them. And at the moment, if we see, you talked about Adani as well. Okay, I say Adani is absolutely clear. Adani is perfect. But we cannot deny from the fact that drugs worth 25,000 crores were found at the Mudra port that is owned by Adani. Did anyone question him? Did any channel go to Mr. Godram Adani and ask him? Did they have the guts to go and ask
He
him what
owns
is
the
happening?
port, my friend. He doesn't.
25,000 crores.
My friend, you should know the law. He
What have
owns
you
the
done about
port.
it?
He does not. He's not responsible for the security of the port. The customs takes care of that. But that is elementary, my dear Watson. But that's not the point.
Changed, ma'am. The security was changed within days.
Well, J.V.
5
Shergill,
seconds.
please respond.
Navika ji, on a lighter note, I think next time you should print a poster of the exact agenda of the debate and send it to panelists before in a poster format so they know what they're talking about. In the last 5 seconds, I have heard about drugs, Yogi Adityanath
I am
in a
talking what
debate which
Navika ma'am
circles
said. I am
around
replying
FIR
to
on
her.
Aam Aadmi Party. So poster next time. 1 second. Second, we come to the issue that is the same. The opposition is clutching to the straws. विपक्ष गाली बक रहा है क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री जी का काम बोल रहा है. Whether it is Samajwadi Party, who's lost second consecutive election, is politically frustrated at the rate. Why? The poster, sir, I did not interrupt you.
More than God.
Thamiye.
He's a normal human being.
I did not interrupt you. The poster which is really troubling Samajwadi Party is why is loot cases down by 70% in UP? Why is murder cases down by 30%? Why is Mafia Raj abolished in Uttar Pradesh by the Yogi government, by the BJP government? These are the poster headlines.
The question tonight is, you know, why are posters being put without names? That is a question. And why is the opposition making this issue as an issue where democracy is being strangulated? Because democracy is not a light word. You don't use it so lightly in just about everything from morning till evening, saying that democracy is dying in this country. We're talking about a country called India, Bharat, which has 140 crore people who hold their head high because this is a buzzing democracy where people of India choose the people they want them to govern. But by raising the bogey of democracy is dead, by just settling political scores, have they actually made this entire issue into a joke? And is that something that the public is going to accept? After all, a country will live, whether political parties which are present today live or not. And India cannot be treated so lightly as to say that democracy just dies. It's a vibrant democracy. It's a democracy that is supported by the people who choose whoever they want to and throw out